Dan Illman and Mike Beer taking a closer look at Kentucky Derby Contender Just a Touch, a horse that didn't race as a 2-year-old, but neither did his sire Justify. And that guy ended up winning the Triple Crown. Just a Touch is coming off of good runner-up efforts in both the Gotham and in this race, the Bluegrass facing Sierra Leone is going to be one of the favorites. Just a Touch showed good positional speed in the Bluegrass, Mike. His first race around 2 turns in only his third lifetime start. He tried very hard to run second, and he ran a strong 96 Buyer.
Yeah, you can see he's going to take over the lead here past the 8th pole, but the Sierra Leone's already on the way down the outside. Dan, he's got no chance to stop that horse. But he's pretty game. But you can see how tired he is at the end of this race. He did a lot of hard work early. This pace was fast. And when you go back to the beginning of that race, breaking the gate, you can see Florent Giroux was riding. It seemed like they wanted to lead there, Dan. They came out running, and a horse went to his inside, and that pace just got a little bit too fast. Just a Touch paid the price, but that was a good performance.
3 starts, 3 good Buyers, 89, 90, 96. He's won on a wet track. He performed very well in the Gotham on a wet track, Mike. A race where it looked like an upper stretch. Maybe he would finish 4th after chasing the fractions, but he was pretty game to get back up for second in the last 16th.
Yeah, I thought he ran well in the Gotham right off of a maiden win. Both of his first 2 starts on sloppy, sealed racetracks, and he handled that fine. The Bluegrass, of course, was on a fast track. He handled that fine. So you don't have to worry about those kinds of things. Listen, I mean, he's been really good in all of his races, Dan. Only 3 starts is, a little bit of a drawback for a horse like him going right into the Derby with only a maiden win behind him. But, man, you can tell that this horse has talent. The distance, I think, is a little bit of a question.
I was just going to bring that up. Of course, he is by Justify a Triple Crown winner, but you look at the female family, there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of middle distance ability. Just a Touch is a half to a stakes place dirt sprinter. His dam was a grade 3 stakes winner going a mile. I do just wonder if you add everything together, only his 4th lifetime start, that pedigree, going a mile and a quarter, likely a horse that wants to be up close to the pace, and the pace should be very solid. I wonder if that all just works against him just a bit.
I mean, there's a lot. There are a lot of issues in that regard. What can overcome, those kinds of things in any race, Dan, is talent. And Just a Touch has an awful lot of talent. I know he wants to be forward, but he's a really handy racehorse. I think he can get the right trip. We'll see, man. He's going to have to improve a little bit and get the added distance. But this horse has a lot of ability.
Just a Touch went through the auction ring 3 times, was a $170,000 yearling buyback, then sold for under $25,000 as a yearling, then went for $300,000 as an April 2-year-old in training. Only 3 starts. He spots valuable experience to many of the contenders in the Kentucky Derby. But as Mike mentioned, he's got a lot of ability, and he's got some very fast races coming off that 96 Buyer in the Bluegrass.